Right, good job. All right. Well done, well done. Okay, so Siddharth and Taneshwar, if you've got any questions about the story, you can ask them. Okay, so my question to Guru Prasanna, Mitra and Ruta Nitish, the ideology of bringing this as a novel experience and having the prologue of the person going back to the flashback, and Guru Prasanna and Ruta Nitish explained the story, and Mitra came up with the final inferences of why they have brought the storyline like this. Now, wonderful story plot and stop, S-T-O-P, the kind of adage that I taught Mitra when she was 10 years old. She remembers that even now, and I really appreciate that. Apart from that learning, why do you think the trainer, when he was narrating the story, he left the story like this? What was the kind of learning here in this exercise? Both teams came up with handsome story, finish. And what is the learning out of this? Starts with your team first. Mitra. Yeah, Mitra, Guru Prasanna and Rutan.
To prepare an activity or a task, sir, the one thing that we say is, you are giving us plain paper, sir, and we are supposed to, like you would, not a paper, a chart, sir, and we are supposed to decorate it with either paint or writing a poem or writing a story, whatever it could be, we are supposed to show our talents by the means. And it's a Monday of activity, sir. We had lots of creativity put into this task, sir. I personally enjoyed today's activity, sir, because we had lot of fun in preparing this planning. Waiting for a presentation to be made, sir. So the main learning that I learned from this activity is creativity, sir. At some of the situations in our life, we fail to put creativity into tests, sir. The people in this call might have experienced these, sir. We would also always say that we are supposed to put the creativity and knowledge into the situation, but in few circumstances we would be very blank and we won't be knowing that we are supposed to put our creativity into tests, sir. So the first thing that I learned from this activity is we are supposed to, I have already told this learning in this presentation, sir, but again I would like to say that it's very important to think before you act, but it is also equally important that we must also put our knowledge and creativity into that particular task, sir. So this is my learning, sir.
Okay, so that's a nice set of learning, creativity. Now, Guru Prasanna.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, my learning is the same, sir, like the creativity, sir. Sir, yesterday we did the activity using like the 9 words and we created a story within a quick span of time, sir. Sir, but today it was different, sir, but it was similar to it, sir, because we acted like you shared half of the story and we did the other half of the story with the conclusion, sir. Like which are all the like whatever may be the situation, we shall go we can use this in our school education also, sir. Whatever may be the situation, we should have self-belief, sir. Sir, I myself, I won't think that I will be able to say a story in quick span of time, sir. But yesterday it was happening, sir. Myself and Tanishwar, we both combined and said a story within a quick span of time, sir. Like, I myself never thought that I could tell a short story within that span of time, sir. Like the self-belief and how to teamwork and creativity, sir.
Okay. Right, good inference, and I really appreciate you and Mitra for giving your learning insights. Now let's hear from Ritan Nitish. Yeah.
So, sir, first of all, thank you for the activity, sir. It's a really interesting activity, sir. So, my learning is, sir, in this story, sir, you gave, sir, and in my point of view, sir, it could help in our lives. So, if you are going somewhere, if you are going for an hostel in the future days, sir, we could use this, sir. For example, I got an idea for just ignoring and helping the person, sir. So if you are using that, it may help in our future, sir. And I hope this was the reason why you gave this activity, sir, because most of the activities you gave to help our future, sir. So I hope this was the answer, sir. And thank you for the activity, sir. It's a really good activity.
Okay.
And we really enjoyed creating the story and all the biography of this person. Thank you.
Right. That's good. Okay, so thank you, Mitra, Guru Prasanna, and Ritan Nitish. Now, it's my responsibility to ask Siddharth and Thaneshwar about the learning experience of this activity, giving a kind of an incomplete thread and asking you to prepare a quick story. What's the catch in that? We'll start with Thaneshwar.
I think, sir, the catch would be being able to think really quickly in situations. Like if something goes wrong, then you can, make up a plan really quickly to how to fix it or whatever. And it's also it could also be to get your brain warmed up. And the activity may also be to help your brain be sharper and how you analyze things and how you can plan things quicker. I think
Okay.
that's it.
All right, okay, so Mitra says it's about creativity. Guru Prasanna says it is about instant comprehensive thinking. Ritan Nitish says it's about, again, instant comprehensive thinking and decision making. And Thaneshwar says that it is about the functionality of the brain. Okay, so learning insights gathered. What do you think, Siddharth?
Sir, I think that it's pretty much the same reason as Nashor. It can be you know how brain teachers teach your brain, they make you get warmed up for things more like that. So it can be like that you can do this activity, you can be more active for whatever activity or project you're doing next and be more focused on it. This can also be for quick thinking, and if you get stuck in sticky situations, then we'll have good enough practice from this that we'll be able to think through that. And this could also mean us working with other people for quick thinking and to accept their quick thinking and to combine the ideas and come up with one bigger idea.
Right, that's also another interface. Okay, so receiving all of your learning insights, I would like to now say why I have designed this particular activity today. The moment when Sanjit J mentioned that he is not going to be present, I decided to scrap the activity that we had yesterday. And we are going to have more rounds like this, not today, but in the next class, when Siddharth and Thaneshwar return. You see, let me first of all give you the story that I decided. The boy who says such a strange answer to the principal, the principal eventually gets convinced and he gets some medical help and he puts the boy into the personal care, and the boy automatically gets recovered and then he continues to go to school. That's what the principal thinks. And the warden, now I'm continuing the story and finishing up to the conclusion. When he was in the medical center, the warden was very much curious to know why this guy did not put him red-handedly caught in front of all the other people. If he had said, it's because of the warden, he bullied me, then done. The warden will be sacked. But he did not do that. So he took a U-turn. So this is the learning principle here. I'll come back to this U-turn learning principle here a little bit later. But I'll finish the story first. So the warden was curious. So after almost about a fortnight or so, 2 weeks later, the warden goes to the boy and he just gets into the classroom during the lunch hour. Everybody has gone for their lunch and this boy was sitting inside. It takes a lot of time for him to recover mentally, and that day he skipped his lunch perhaps, so he's staying in the class. So the warden peeps in either direction and he just gets into the class, and the boy wakes up and he said, "Sit down, go easy, sit down." Then he goes to the boy and he plainly asks, "Look, 15 days back, you could have put my job at stake, right? And you did something unthinkable. You said that you endangered your own self and you did not raise any complaint against me. I'm not asking this out of the guilt, but I'm asking out of curiosity. Why? Why did you do that?" he asks. The boy looks into his eyes and he makes a smirk and says, and also looking into his eyes again, he looks down, he looks into his eyes again, he looks down, and then he finally says, "Because I know that you are a dumb person. Because you have your own mental issues. Remember, when a person has joined a school and on the very first day itself, or about after a 10-day span of time, if you go and ask a 9th grader all the money that the person has got, it is not a strange, it is not a normal behavior. It is a very strange behavior. And in that moment, I understood that you are a person who is supposed to be in asylum, and with a mindless mistake, you are over here. I thought of giving you a helping hand. So a mentally retarded, a mentally challenged person like you should be given a little bit of piece of advice, or should not be caught red-handed. So I thought I showed mercy on you." Listening to these words, the warden slapped him. "You call me mentally retarded?" The warden slapped him. And then the boy gets a slap and he wipes off his cheek and he says that, "Tell me, warden, for the past 17 days, were you peaceful?" he asked. Okay, don't beat around the bush. Give me the plain answer. Drop your ego. Even if you are dropping the ego, you are losing only to me, and there is no one here. I'm not going to reveal anything to anybody. Very peaceful for the 17 days. No, I was not peaceful. That's what I wanted. I wanted to give you the taste of medicine that you are giving to the others. What would have happened if I had complained to the principal? The principal would have given you a suspension, maybe about 15 days of suspension, and you would have gone out. You would have considered that as a vacation, and then you would have come back, and you would be continuing the same thing to the other students. But I gave you a different out-of-the-box treatment. It was a kind of a counseling, it was a kind of a grievance redressal, and I made you think in a different way. Next time, before you put your hand onto a teenager, you will think twice. Because, oh my God, I previously had a very bad experience. One boy has just, forgiven me, and he gave me a kind of I went to him like a beggar, and I was asking for a chance, and then after 17 days I went back to him and I was trying to get answers. So it was a big massive attack on my ego. So let me not do that. So you will think about this particular scenario before you put your hand on any other boy who is coming as a new chap into this school. You see, in the 17 days I have changed you. I have not kept you in peace, and I have changed you and made you think. So this is how my dad and mom have raised me. That is, think out of the box and drop all the old school habits of reaction. My reaction was completely different. I did not want to have any old school reaction. What could be old school reaction? Old school reaction is going to the other boys and crying that this warden has manhandled me. Old school reaction number 2, immediately raising a complaint against you to the principal. Old school reaction number 3, trying to hit you back and endangering myself even more, you ending up breaking my arm or my leg. I dropped all these old school reactions and I started thinking out of the box. I started thinking something new. I made you contemplate. I did not make you think. I did not make you imagine. I made you contemplate. There is a difference between thinking and contemplation. Contemplation is thinking deep, and getting into the branches and all possible ways of the scenarios, and basically keeping the mind into a tyrant way of less peaceful state. And I gave you the punishment. And here you are, look at you. You're standing in front of a 10th grader like a piece of trash and begging for explanation. Think again before you put hand on any other teenager hereafter. Saying this, the boy stormed out of the classroom and the warden kept on blinking. So that's the end of the story. And here, the biggest learning I would like to give is this out-of-the-box reaction mode. Every single teenager is put into a situation and the teenager is tested in that situation and the teenager has got some series and streams of reactions the person can give. Like in this particular story, crying, reaction number 1. Feeling self-sympathized, reaction number 2. Raising complaints about the warden to the other people, reaction number 3. Naysaying about the warden to the other people that beware, this guy is a very, 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 very wicked guy. Be very careful with him. That's another reaction. This guy, the protagonist of our story, has not done anything of that. He just made a little bit of out-of-the-box thinking and made the uncertainty think with an uncertainty. Here the source of uncertainty was the warden. Even the warden was very uncertain as what is happening in front of him. Like this, I want you to see your problems in a different angle. When something slashes you in your life, when some trouble comes in your life, I want you to think of some new form and out-of-the-box thinking way of approaching that problem. Something not prehistoric. Something not that has been repeated several times by several different people. New forms and new ways of reaction. Powerful reaction. Like a powerful person. Right? Not as a wicked person. If you take a stock of a sample of 1,000 people, 1,000 people will have the same way of reacting to the situation. But this guy stood as a 1,001st person. He stood different and he reacted in a different way. He made all of the people stunned. What do you think? The principal doesn't know what has really happened? He knows what has really happened. But until and otherwise the boy has raised the complaint. He would not be able to take any action against the hostel warden. But the boy made everybody stunned, and most importantly, the boy made this hostel warden think. So why don't you behave like this? Like, think. Just let's sit for a moment, as Mitra mentioned. Just sit for a moment, and as Taneshwar mentioned, use your brain. And as Ritan Nitish mentioned, try to have a critical acclaim of how differently we can behave in this situation. In your school, your classmate bullies you. Your classmate makes fun out of you. Your classmate tries to make you feel so low about yourself. Think in a different way. Because you are a trained individual. If you take Ritan Nitish, he has attended almost about 300 plus sessions. If you take Mitra, she has attended almost about 800 plus sessions. Guru Prasanna has now attended almost about 100 plus sessions. Taneshwar has attended almost about 25 plus sessions. And Siddharth has almost attended more than 60 sessions now. So all of you are trained. So an untrained person and you, the trained person, there should be a classical vintage difference. And that difference is, think from a new antenna and think from a new angle of your reaction parameters. How differently can I react? How can I stun these people? What kind of out of the block and road not taken principle I can use here so that the other people will find me so inspirational? What is the road not taken principle I can apply here so that the damage causing person himself is stunned and is of no clue? This is an interesting behavior. And I want you to stamp this behavior inside you. So after this class, next time, when there is a serious situation that's happening in your life, apply this. Ask 3 questions. Question number 1, time for some out-of-the-box thinking. What out-of-the-box thinking can I bring up here? That's question number 1. Question number 2, how can I be so much inspirational here? Thirst for being inspirational. The hunger for being inspirational. Here you are not egotistical, but here you are trying to show some leadership skill. So how can I be inspirational here? That's the second question. Third question, what is the course of action? You see, these 3 questions are like reticular activating system in your brain and they come up with some answers. What kind of out-of-the-box thinking here? That's point number one. That's question number one. How can I be more inspirational here? That's question number two. What is the course of action I'm going to implement here? That's question number three. So asking these three questions, the brain comes up with some form of answers. Use that answer. And you are a sparkling star there. Just like the little boy here in the story. So that's the learning I wanted to give to you. You understood? Any questions? I rest my case. That's it.
Great climax, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Nice story, and it's a really good learning for us.
Thank you. Thank you. All right.
Good experience.
Yeah, I'm really happy that 3 people living in India, 2 people living in US are going to have this particular technique utilized in their lives. Yes, Guru Prasanna, hand raised, come on.
Sir, shall we make it as a therapy, sir? Anger management therapy, sir. In which of the situations we should use, and at that situation we should use it, sir.
Absolutely.
Shall we make this as a therapy, sir?
Yeah, you can definitely, and you can make this as the U-turn therapy or out of the box thinking.
Yes.
Yeah,
So we already have an out-of-system thinking, sir.
out of system thinking. Fine. So let us not interrupt that. Thank you for reminding. So let's take it as U-turn therapy.
Yes, sir.
Well, honestly, I need to make a revelation, Guru Prasanna. I did not want to give it as a therapy, but you have converted that into a therapy. Credit goes to you. So I appreciate that.
Thanks, sir. Sir, thank you, sir. Sir, as I listened to the story which you gave and the learning, sir, just thinking that as a therapy, sir, in Gunner attitude, we saw, sir, in that activity itself, we used all the subcontents which you told in the Gunner attitude therapy, sir.
Right.
That I thought, sir. So that's I thought.
Right. Good. That's a good foundation for such thinking. Well done. Okay, so Siddharth and Taneshwar, for the next week ahead, try to put this into use and let me know how you felt next week when we meet. So that is the session today, boys and Mitra. Before we wind up, do you have any questions? Yes, Siddharth.
Sir, do we have to make a presentation like we did last time for this week?
Well, I am seriously thinking of giving you presentation each week because you both are making beautiful presenters together. But you sent a message in Skype and you removed it instantly, attributing about your homework. So that is the only thing that is making me think. Will you be able to balance the homework?
Yes, sir. It was just that I was procrastinating with that.
Okay.
That's my fault.
Right. Because you have 1 week time. So this time you and Taneshwar work with a different one. You have come up with a science thing yesterday. So come up with some other activity or some other topic. I'm entirely leaving the choice to you because it's going to be a course of learning for us. So every single Saturday, you both will have to make a presentation.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, Mitra, hand raised.
Sir, the concept, the learning that you taught us today, sir, is it similar to reverse psychology, sir, somehow related to that, sir?
No, reverse psychology is completely different. Reverse psychology, you are taking the pain and you are enjoying the pain. So that form. Here you are not taking the pain at all. Here you are just thinking with a different parenthesis of your brain functionality. So there is a difference between reverse psychology and this one.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah, Guru.
Yes, sir. Sir, my model exam for 2 subjects, they have given the marks, sir. Sir, shall I start to you, sir?
Sure, you have to.
Yes, sir. Sir, only in English and social they have given marks, sir. We have got some holidays, sir. With all the puja holidays, till 19th we are having holidays from today, sir. We shall go from 20th to school, sir, again. Sir, they have only given 2 subject marks, sir. One was in English, sir. In English, it was 62 out of 80, sir.
Okay.
Sir, in social, 65 out of 80, sir. That's it, sir.
That's a great mark. Do you think it's an improvement than the last time?
Yes, sir. Like I was having some average marks, sir. Like 50 to 60 only in all subjects I will be having, sir. This time I have took that an opportunity to have 60 plus, sir.
Beautiful. So that straight away gets into your academic excellence of CRS 3.0. And on Tuesday, when I'm sending you the update, you will know about it. Good job. I'm really, really very happy that the training has also been a source, perhaps, for your mark elevation. Good job, Guru Prasanna. Well done.
Thank you,
Very
sir.
happy for you, Guru. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mitra.
Very well done,
Sir,
Guru.
Great job, Guru.
thank you, friends. Sir, in English, sir, they gave a plot, sir. They gave a plot and they asked to write a descriptive writing, sir. Sir, in that, I suppose I inserted psychological therapy also in it, sir.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Like I just had it was a person who was having low self-confidence, sir. I wrote only about the self-confidence therapy, like visualization, sir. Like visualization and how the boy overcome the circumstances, sir.
Fantastic.
Before school, sir, I won't be able to write a story with a moral, sir. But this time I tried to write a story, sir. It came good, sir.
Fantastic. Just like you're showing the improvement, Guru Prasanna, I have a desire, and the desire is not very much sure about Aswathaman, but I seriously think is a wrong word, but I seriously look forward to you and Ritan Nitish claim a main award this time in CRS 3.0, because you both have all the more capabilities now. So make it a reality. Do you both think it is possible?
Yes, sir.
Sir, we are promising that it is possible.
Beautiful. Last time, 2 members promised me like this, and both members ended up not getting any award. One was Mridu Bhashni, another one was Vishnu Priya. Please don't repeat the story. Keep the promise.
Yes, sir. Sir, but my total mark out of all subjects, 500 marks would be less only, sir. Because I didn't attend one exam, sir. Tamil exam I didn't attend because of my health issues, sir.
Right. Let's see. As Mitra mentioned in the chat box, enjoy your holidays. Make full use of MS evening sessions, and make full use of these days for raising up your bar in CRS attributes, all the BILA entities. Do that and update it.
Yes, sir, sure, sir. We should update it tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow is the update day, and Tuesday, October 12th, will be CRS update number 2. It will come to you. Siddharth and Taneshwar, your CRS is completely different. These people's CRS are 6 days per week, but for Guru Prasanna, Mitra and Ritan Nitish alone, it is 7 days per week. So they will get extra bonus for the Sunday class that they are attending. But for you both, it is designed in a different way, because you are attending almost about 3.5 hours every single week, 2 hours on Saturday and 1.5 hours on Sunday. So I have metrics prepared. After your next presentation on Saturday, in front of the Indian batch students on Saturday, I will show you the CRS 2.0 updation for both of you.
Okay, sir.
Okay. All right. Any questions, Siddharth, Taneshwar, Mitra, Guru, Ritan?
Okay.
Yeah. So Ritan, take your cycle, pedal it up, and come over here, come upstairs, and I will show you how I am.
Sir, I have to study, sir. Exam is coming, sir.
And yesterday, when you went for submitting your papers, Mitra told me what has really happened. You got kicked on your... you got kicked and you had to go back, and you had to come back to school. Such an obedient fellow you are.
Sir, not kicked, sir. I actually have another note, sir. On Tuesday itself, I thought of submitting one note and I kept that particular note in my file, sir. But I also thought of taking the another note, sir, but I didn't take the other. So I came back and I took the another note and I got the correction from Maths Miss, and for the third time I went to submit that. Yes.
Thank you. End of
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay,
Yes, sir.
fine. So, we will meet tomorrow, and tomorrow we'll be continuing the sport, and I have designed some other activity. Siddharth and Tanishwar, by any chance, at any given point of time, if you would like to peep inside an Indian batch class, anyway, let's say for example, if you have got a holiday in between or so, just let me know and make sure that you are attending the Indian batch. In case if you are having a break or a holiday or a sudden extra time, I would love both of you just peeping into the Indian batch class whenever possible, apart from the Saturday and Sunday classes.
Okay, sir.
All right.
Okay, sir.
Okay, fine. So enjoy the Sunday, Siddharth and Tanishwar, and Guru Prasanna, Mitra, and Rutanitish. Your bonuses would be put up into the CRS 3.0. You will know about that on Tuesday when I'm submitting the update. So, I rest my case. Continue your Baila entities. Do the therapies regularly. Expect great things and live strong. All the 5 of you. Bye bye.
Bye, sir. Bye.
Bye bye. Expect great
See you
things.
next
and live.
Saturday.
See you next Saturday. Bye. Bye, Tanishwar. Bye, Siddharth.
Hi, sir.
Bye, da. Bye, Ratan.
Bye, Tanishwar.
Bye.
One more question, sir.
Yeah, yeah.
Will Dakshin not come tomorrow, sir?
தெரியலடா அவன் வருவானா என்னங்கிறது தெரியல when he said he is missing the class on Saturday, I'll meet you on Monday அப்படின்னா நாளைக்கு திடீர்னு அவங்க அம்மாவோ இல்லை அவனோ திடீர்னு லாஸ்ட் மினிட் ஏதாவது ஒன்று சொல்லுவாங்க 5 மணி வரைக்கும் எதுவுமே தெரியவில்லை பார்ப்போம் பட் டுமாரோ the rest of the people will have their class.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Bye, sir.
Bye.
Sir.
Bye, bye, bye.
Bye, Ritan.